Hi all, welcome back to more DD at Tarawa. This is my part 11. Um, yeah, part 10 finished a bit dismal. And to be honest, it could get worse because I've been forgetting about something. I made a comment in the header of part 10 there, just released it recently, so I'm kind of up to date. Which I want to try and keep on top of with this game because I'd rather avoid making any major blunders. However, I've spotted this mistake myself, but and it's all about I'm forgetting about the lettered actions I've kicked in. I don't think any of the A actions were relevant because was it not a double position with the letter A? Now I think you should probably just double check that, Grant, before you carry on. No, it was, Grant, because it clearly was, because this is when the situation we had arose with the purple. So it must have been a purple double A, a double fire. I don't know how you sort of say that. Double fire, a double A, if you like, in purple. So. Yeah, so but what I forgot about in the last part was the fact that we had a single R in green, a single green R. Now there's let's see the lettered actions. The lettered actions in R are resupply, redeploy, and reinforce. That's the three actions for our infantry. Non-tanks, shall we say. And then for the Japanese tanks, we've got overrun for the R, which we've seen in action, well, which devastated us at the end of the turn there, sadly. However, resupply is an occupied position with US units in its field of fire. Now, I would have been looking at that quite clearly. And we've still got the fire card up there, and we can see that it is a green R, single, not a double. So anything that was in the field of fires, anything sitting in green would have been, well, that resupply action would have applied. And what I would have done was, it says if one or more Japanese units in the position have no depth marker drawn, place a depth marker for each such unit. Face down, do not fire. If all Japanese units in the position have depth markers, fire. Right? And then starting turn 11, it does a bit of both. It checks for depth marker and then they fire as well, which makes it even worse. But we didn't have any of that. There was nothing in green. The only thing that was sitting in green, to be honest, was this infantry unit that this tank came and seen to. So that was the only thing that we had sitting in the field of fire of green. However, it's not all about that. And as we know, I catered for the other action, which is the reinforce action, which says unoccupied position in Japanese communication within 2 X's of a US unit. If it's a coastal position, must be in zone D, E, or F. Place a reserve unit and a depth marker in the position. Well, that happened in 2 places. It happened here. I'll come back to this, carry on in a second. And it also happened down here. Now this one was, both places were empty, but the rules say that you place it in the lower number text. So I was catering for that as well. But the one thing I missed out on, which would have been relevant to the third action, which is redeploy. And the eligible position is an occupied inland position. Now, it might not happen, but I didn't consider it, right? So, an occupied inland position with no US units in the field of fire it applies to coastal positions beginning turn 11, so that's not applying yet. The Japanese unit in the position hex redeploys to an unoccupied position hex within 3 hexes of its current position, closer to the nearest US unit. Now, I won't read it all in detail, but basically, I just totally blanked that thought. So I'm glad I've caught it in time, because I don't think it's going to have... I think we're going to be able to sort it, and in actual fact, it might not even apply. It's possible. because these are coastal positions, aren't they? Now, hang on though, Grant. That was occupied. No, that's what we're looking for, Grant. Oh, sorry. Yeah. This is occupied, right? And it doesn't have units in its field of fire. Alright, sorry about that. I was struggling to get the pause button there to try and cut it off, obviously. That's my ringtone for my phone. So, yeah, so this is an occupied green position, and we're looking at that action with no US units. So, however, this is not a coastal position. Sorry, it's not an inland position, and it did just say it was inland only, didn't it? Redeploy. Yeah, coastal positions for redeploy are on turns 1 to 10 are no action. Okay, so it might be that we're not doing anything here after all. After me thinking, but however, if it's a inland position, we're going to try and move a bit closer. So that was the first one to consider, and I totally just forgot all about it. However, it is coastal, so it wouldn't have done anything. But however, is there not another one? Yeah, it's this one here. So coming along, this one here is an inland position in green. However, I'm not sure it can move closer, can it? Now, none of these things have moved because this is where the whole movement of things has an effect. You can see that tank moved down, but we're coming along this way. We're coming from right to left, so this would happen before that, etc. And nothing else had moved in here to mess with that. This got undisrupted, I think. No, that was the turn before, I think, Grant. Purple's not on that card. Yeah, it was this guy that got undisrupted. Now he's actually sitting in green. He was disrupted. Was he? Yeah, he was the one that moved before, but that was the turn before. He moved from brown down to green. Why would he have been disrupted then, Grant? He wouldn't have been disrupted. No, you know what? He couldn't do anything. Could he not have done anything? He would have been trying to do because the overrun action says if there's no US units in its field of fire, then they don't do anything, isn't it? That's what it was. Let me see the word done. If no US units are in the tank unit's field of fire, no action. And that's for the overrun action. That's what we were checking in for, wasn't it? So that was a green position. So coming along, looking for green. Because what I was doing, I was just looking for the units and saying, right, he's not in green, he's just in blue, none of that, none of that. And I'm forgetting about the actual positions. Or the only one I was taking note of was the ones that were empty. So this guy here would want to try and redeploy, but I don't think he's got anywhere to go, to be honest, when I'm looking at it now. So redeploy. Is it redeploy? Yeah. Occupied inland position with no US units in its field of fire. That's what that is, okay? The Japanese unit in the position hex redeploys to an unoccupied position hex within 3 hexes of its current position and closer to the nearest US unit. Well, this is his closest nearest US unit, and you can see he's got nowhere to go to. It needs to be an unoccupied position hex within 3 hexes of where he is. So he doesn't have an option there. If these conditions are met, move the unit and its depth marker, if any. If these conditions are not met, the position conducts no action. Okay, so in actual fact, that one's getting away with it as well. Now, it could have moved to here, but obviously that's not getting closer to the nearest US unit. 1, 2, 3, that's 4 away. You know, this is his nearest US unit, so he can't move anywhere. So that's fine. And then, oh, that could have been worse. Right, that one came from there, that one came from there. Well, we managed to avoid turning them over, which was quite good. Right, pretty sure that one was there, and it was that one was there, yes. Yes, because that would have been the starting hex. Right, yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Okay, and then, like I say, what I was trying to say there was we dealt with that reinforced. So coming along again, then we dealt with the tank, which slaughtered that unit we had here by hitting it and then close combating it with overrun. So obviously this position was occupied. We wouldn't have been checking that for anything else now. This is unoccupied, but it's not within 2 hexes or 3 hexes. There's 2 in it. Unoccupied within 2. So that doesn't apply. And then going along even further, that's red, that's blue, that's yellow, that's brown. This guy here is green, but he's coastal as well. So if it was turn 11, he would then want to start redeploying. He would probably move into this hex here. But it's not turn 11 yet. So it needs to be an inland position for them to move, redeploy. So, yeah, I could have probably wangled my way out of that and got away with it. Just said I knew what I was doing. But I didn't, and I kind of forgot about them. So I need to be switched on to that as well. It's not just checking our units and saying, right, he's not in green field of fire and looking for empty green positions. It's also, you've got to consider, because the M actually, once it kicks in, there's mortar fire, you know, there's other things that can happen. Okay, so, yeah. And and the other thing I made a comment about was, you know, rethinking about this hex and saying it wasn't a beach hex. When you heard, what was it? What's his name again? Is it Tom? Yeah, it was Tom that mentioned this, yeah. When he talked about it being a beach hex and what, afterwards I'm thinking, you know, if you're coming along the water here, right? If you're coming along the water and you get to this hex, then what is it? Water, land, you know, what is the first hex going to be? It's clearly going to be the beach, isn't it? So, a bit of a daft moment probably thinking that. And it was just because it was different from all the other hexes. All the other hexes have a little bit of water in them. This one does not. That's what made Grant go and start thinking these weird thoughts. It's clearly a beach hex because you come along, you know, you're in your boat and then you come to here, it's the beach, isn't it? You know. Anyway. Okay, so that's fine. Well, we got that resolved too, and we got the D5 situation resolved. So I think everyone's okay. Well, everyone's okay apart from the fact that we've nothing here because they got delayed a turn. We've got very little happening here. Okay, we can maybe do something here now. Well, we did push these along, and I'm kind of glad I did now because I think I'm going to go and have a go at that guy there, because there's other things are just not really going. I don't know if this looks like a poor position to be in. The fact that we've got delayed, that our strongest force of reinforcements have been delayed a turn. Fortunately, it is only one turn. When I thought it was 2 turns at first, but it's just the way the amphibious phase goes, and then the turn track and how it works, isn't it? But it does work out only 1 turn, I think. Right, let's get on. We are on the US action phase, so we have 3 actions, 3 paid actions, and some free actions. And probably as well we can hear first, because all we can do with this. As he's sitting in brown and blue, well, this would be adjacent as well anyway, so that doesn't really work. Steady brown and blue. This guy's sitting in red, brown and blue, and I think I might kind of want to get him out. Well, to be honest, this is a tank anyway, so if I move it back to here, he's still going to be able to fire into that position, isn't he? With red. You know, he's sitting in steady red, but the tank extends its field of fire anyway into this hex, so is there any point in me moving that hero? It's just to try and keep it out of danger, because it's going to be a while before we get any support. Right, but all we can do with, well, unless we want to start moving this tank, but I don't want to move along to here. That's in steady yellow. This guy can easily fire. I don't want to move to here. This is in, sorry, not steady yellow, intense yellow. And this is an intense brown, and we've got a brown position. So, you know, I don't think, and tanks can't go in close combat, can they? No. No, it's got to be yeah, you can't do it with a tank. I'm away looking, but I know the answer. But in the close combat step, US infantry and engineer units in the Japanese occupied territories conduct close combat. Yeah, I don't even know if I can move a tank. And reaction, conducting actions, US actions, enter an adjacent enemy occupied territories for close combat. All except artillery and HQs. Oh. Well, that tends to suggest the tank can do it. That seems a bit weird. I very much doubt I would want to do it anyway, but I suppose now that I'm looking for the relevant rule to tell me I can or can't do it. Yeah, it does just say US units may conduct any of the following actions if eligible, it says right enough. But then it says enter an adjacent enemy occupied hex for close combat, and then in brackets it's got all except artillery and HQs. So suggests engineers, infantry, which I thought it was only, but there was no mention of tanks not being able to. So right, hang on. Right, I'm not going to look any further because actually, you're saying you're not going to do it. This guy's disrupted. Nah, he's going to get. Yeah, no. If you were to hit him. I mean, I'm only going to get one card, but he's disrupted, so I would get the first shot. Maybe it is what I consider. I'm pretty sure I can't do it. But it's just what I read there, that's all. Let me go and try and find out. Ah, okay, right, well I did find something. Somebody asked a question because of the two bits that I just pointed out where it mentioned, what was it? You can enter an adjacent enemy occupied hex for close combat, all except artillery and HQs. And then however the other bit that talks about conduct close combat by God, it's all muddled up here. Where are we? By US infantry and engineer units in the Japanese occupied territories conduct close combat. So he said, can tanks do it? But it had came up before, and John Butterfield had answered. This is way back, like, but he was just confirming that tanks could end up in close combat during landing. You know, if they came in and took the in, although is the inland result, is it optional? Anyway, the other way they could be involved in close combat is if the Japanese moved into the hex. So what the answer was that tanks can't voluntarily enter a Japanese hex. They can't voluntarily. The only way it could happen is in the. I'm just thinking, would they not have to? What does it say about the inland? Is it optional? Tank. Well, reef tank treat as beach result. Water treat as beach result. Yeah, so inland 1 and 2, you don't get an option to do anything different with the tank. So the tank would have to move on. So there's an option where you could be involving a tank in close combat if you landed it and it went inland and landed on top of a Japanese unit. So that's where it can happen. Another way it could happen, well, let's just say that was, I don't know if he would have done that there though. If that tank had been there, and it was a diamond, sorry, that was a symbol on the fire card, he wouldn't be able to hit because it's not got armour. But then this is a tank on a tank. Does that make any... No, this is a tank firing at a tank. Does it care? Does it need the armour symbol? And the thing is, it couldn't have the armour symbol and the R symbol. So it couldn't do... You know, it couldn't do the... Sorry, it wasn't the... Yeah, it was the R. It couldn't do the overrun action and then also have the... being able to attack the armour. But I'm wondering if the fact this is a tank, it could have hit that tank and then overrun it anyway. I'm not sure. We'll leave that one there. Okay, so they can't do it voluntarily. Okay? Right, let's get moving on, Grant. Which is a pity, because I might have considered that, actually. Right, so... Well, I'm going to use his free action. I don't see the point in trying to move him anyway. I'm going to use his free action to attempt to barrage that. Just to hope that it keeps Brown away from us. So we're going to barrage that. He's getting a free action from the HQ. And we need to draw a card that has Brown, because this doesn't have depth. We've only got 2 strength. We've done this before. So we need the position colour, which is brown. So we're going to draw a card looking for Brown. We don't get it. Great. Well, that's that then. So do we move the hero? I'd be moving like I say, I don't think it makes any difference, because he's still going to... Down there he's sitting in red as well. Oh. Tell you what, if he moves to there, he's out of blue. Blue's disrupted now, anyway, Grant. And it takes that position. It holds... kind of holds that position. But then I've just moved the tank. Well, then I can't get an action for the free action for the tank, can I? And this isn't going to reinforce while this is occupied anyway, so... Yeah, I think I'll just leave it there. I might as well having it beside the tank, haven't I? Right then, let's just move along. So we still do have 3 actions. That was a free action. Right, well, we did get this guy up to here. Unfortunately, he was the one that took the artillery hit, wasn't he? And this is a crater hex. So, again, it's only the fortified building that gives both the double. It is going to double the unit. We would get some help from this tank. So you'd have a strength of 8. That's right. Yeah, I would be able to attack with that because I'm adjacent to that. Or, yeah, that's fine. And he's in command. Yeah, see, that's... Oh. If I was to move that here first and then attack, would I get the wild card? Well, I worked out that the wild card wasn't really going to hit. Mind you, that's when that was an 8 strength, wasn't it? 8, 10 and 11, I thought that wasn't. But moving from 8 to 9, I don't think it's going to help us either. Yeah. Because 9 strength is not going to help, I don't think. Well, what if you turned it, let's say he was a 4 strength and we attacked with 8, so it's 8 against 8, that would be equal, whereas if it was 9 against 8, we would have greater but not a double. But yeah, I think if that's a 4, we're in a lot of trouble anyway. Do we give this a go? We're not really looking to dig deep. It's one of these situations where you just want to get double and disrupt it. I don't really want to dig to find the depth marker really. And this hit, I mean, I don't want to move into there, surely. You know, I don't want to sort of say, right, let's plan a better attack here and we'll wait till next turn and I'll move this extra 4 strength into that. Well, you could move it into here, Grant. But I mean, this is, well, it's not as bad for sure, but it's in intense blue. It's not quite so bad the HQ being there, but oh yeah, let's go for this. Maybe crazy. So free action to attack, and then the tank's going to support the attack as well. It will help. Weapon wise, it's pretty good. We're also going to, nah, he's got a radio anyway. Yeah, but yeah, like I said, the only weapon that I'd been missing, because I contemplated moving this down, didn't I? Well, I knew I couldn't move it from there to there, but I realised I could 2-hex move it. So then we'd get a wild card. But the only thing that could come up is NA. Now, hold on. This has probably not got a flamethrower anymore, because this got reduced. So this is a 4-step heavy infantry. No, hang on. Yeah, no, this is a 3-step heavy infantry unit. Ooh, so actually, it's not got demolitions. Oh, I think the tank gives demolitions, does it? No, it does not, Grant. You're talking rubbish. So we've actually, because that took a hit, we've lost demolitions and the flamethrower. So the need to have the wild card is quite important now. But I mean, this needs to be stacked with it, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. And I'm not sure if I can get away with by moving that first and then doing the attack. That feels like I shouldn't be able to do that. Actually, you know what? I think I maybe might be able to do it, but what I won't be able to do is carry out the free attack. Because as soon as I move that, I can't get free actions from it as soon as if I move it. That's why you've got to do it. I've got to do my free actions first, then I can move it. So I might have been able to do that, and then I would have to pay for the action for this to attack and this to join in the attack. So whereas if I'd moved it down here last turn, I would have been sitting better. But I guess because this was 8 strength, I had the demolitions, I had the flamethrower. Let's just do it. Right, we're attacking with 8 strength into this, and it's going to get doubled, right? Well, I'll tell you what, that's not the worst result in the world. It needs CC, so we don't have the weapons, but it's only doubled up to a 2, so we do have, yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good result actually. We're going to disrupt that, and now we know we've got to CC it. So next time I could contemplate going in with that. Assuming, yeah, it's only sitting in blue, so yeah. So we don't have the weapons, but attack strength is double. I mean, I know we've got a depth marker there, but it's not going to look at that because we don't have the weapons. Don't have the weapons. Attack strength is at least double. Unit, and it's a unit and unrevealed depth marker, so Japanese are disrupted. Okay, so that actually was quite good. Now I know I've got to go in there. Problem is, he's going to get 1, 2, 3 cards for sure. Well, unless that turns out to be a tactical reinforcement, like we found out. Because he's getting 1 for the unit, 1 for the depth, 1 for the CC. Strength. The fact his strength is only 1, unlikely to get another card for a strength of 4. So, but probably sitting at 3 cards, and we'd be going in there with 3 cards as well. Well, unless, I mean, maybe this is when we should move this hero down, and then he can move in as well. Can he? I think the headquarters units can move in, because what would be the point in having that hero You cannot move an HQ into an enemy occupied hex. Alright. Alright, so I can. So I'm never going to be able to, well, unless they were to attack us and the HQ was sitting beside us. I'm never going to benefit from that hero then in close combat. Well, that I've started. I don't think. Right, okay. And then the rest of the stuff, I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's... I mean, should we try and... What is that sitting in? It's not... Well, I say it's not sitting in any great danger, and the fact we've disrupted that, it's in steady blue, but this purple actually gets fired into there, doesn't it? I feel like I just want to hold that position there though, because I don't feel like, well, hold on here. Can't we at least bring another point, like, oh, yes, Grant, stop here. Bring this guy down into here, and then the engineer can join the close combat, add in the extra step, and add in the flamethrower for some extra cards. Yeah. Right, so that's going to happen. So I'm going to move this guy from here to here, because this is disrupted, so there's no real danger, you would hope. And then the HQ's on top. So yeah, move that guy into there. I think maybe just leave it at that then. Yeah. Well, I might have a quick glance before I finish the turn. I can always come back to it. Right, we've still got 3 actions. Well, this is where they're going to get used, probably. Right, it's right dull across this side, isn't it? Why is it so dark? Hey, it's because of the way I've set the map up, because my wee lamps above, they're like... I think it's okay. I don't think it's too bad. I'll have a look. Next time when I watch this part back, I'll have a look at this area. Because I could bring... There is another little lamp I've got that I could bring across. But you know what? That shadow, the shadow is the actual tripod. That's what it is. If I move that a bit... yeah, don't mess about with it, Grant. I'm sure it's fine. Right, this guy can only do one thing, and that is remove his disruption. So, yeah, he's in a bad spot because of that guy appearing. Yeah, he's in intense green, and all he can do is remove his disruption, like I say. He's in steady yellow. Yeah, I mean, there's actually a little daft temptation to move him into there, because if I get lucky and green doesn't appear on the fire card, I might want to carry it. No, that's going to be... I'm actually concentrating the hex if I do that as well. It's just then I would have 8 strength, but I mean, I don't want to move in there because that's then in intense yellow. And I can't get around to this hex. No, and this is intense green, so I can only move into there, and that's yuck as well. Right. Right, let's see. Well, we faffed about with that last turn for so long. Wonder what we're going to do with all this in this area. Let's not spend as much time as we did the last time. But I think the fact we got away with this and blue did not do anything, and these guys are here, and we could get 5 cards drawn if we moved into here. And it is only going to be, that's a steady red fire, that's the one that's missing the dot that I've kind of coloured in myself. So that is steady red. It's also that one of the heavy artillery positions, which would be nice to take. Yeah, so I think we move in there, don't we? Yeah, no, I can't barrage it, can I? Because I need to be sitting in blue. That was the problem regarding the tank, wasn't it? Right. Yeah, I'm going to spend an action to go in there. Close combat. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right, and then I don't like the fact the yellow positions are. Now we've got the R action on the board. The fact that they are just exposed like that. So no, you don't want to do that. I think we'll move Major Ryan into here. I don't want to move him into here because if the close combat goes wrong, these guys are going to fall back into there. Mind you, if it goes wrong, they're going to be probably in a bit of a bad state. But there is a chance you could draw, you know, and just not get hits. I don't think that's likely, but I suppose it's possible. I'd like to get this guy moving in a position as well. So, yeah, in actual fact, if we move Major Ryan into there, and then we could 2-hex move that guy into there, and then he's adjacent. So if things do go wrong, if things go right, then Major Ryan's in there, and he can maybe, I don't know what he can maybe. So, well, I tell you what, if that tank moves into there, that can't reinforce. Well, in actual fact, hang on. I don't think these can reinforce, can they? Because this is a 2-step infantry unit. But you never know if this guy gets hit. However, this would be resolved before he's going to get hit, wouldn't it? Yeah, because if yellow, let's just say yellow popped up and we got the R action, it would want to try and reinforce these first. It wouldn't be able to because they couldn't trace communication. Oh, mind you, these are engineers. Yeah, we've already talked about that, so it could. Right, well that means get that tank into there then, Grant. Then they can't. The tank exerts control in the adjacent hexes. So we. Yeah, well that does have to stop there because that would be adjacent. So a free action for Major Ryan to go in there, and then. Two actions left, yeah. 2 actions left. Yeah, because, yeah, moving the tank into here doesn't really help. I think maybe just move it into here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe some of you would have some, you know, think that moving that tank into there, moving it 2 hexes into there so that it can then move better from there. I don't know, maybe. It's going to depend on what happens here, I suppose. I can't get the tank set in a position to be able to barrage anything. That's... Oh, wait a minute. No, do we not need the HQ for that though? The barrage, it can get somebody spotting for it, can it? But that needs the HQ, doesn't it? An undisrupted infantry or engineer unit occupies the hex in the field of fire of the target hex. Unit is considered to be observing for the tank. In order for an infantry unit to observe for the tank, either the tank unit or the observing unit must be in command of an HQ. And we don't have an HQ on there. I don't know when he comes in. Look, he doesn't come in for ages. In fact, no, we must. Is that the other HQ? That doesn't come in until turn 28. Gee, that's the ones up the side. He comes in from that side. So do we not get an HQ at all along there? That's rough. I mean, unless there's something in that stack. There's not one in that stack though, because I remember I would have noticed that. Right. Yeah. So we can't barrage it unless we're in the unit's field of fire. A tank unit occupies a hex in the field of fire of the target hex. So I can't really get myself into a place that does that. I mean that's red there, but I'm 3 hexes away, so well, yeah. And if I move there and we take that out, then I could move to there next turn and move into here. I don't think that benefits me, right? I'm just going to move into there. And that's a US action taken. And then finally, I'm going to move. I don't need another action anywhere else. I don't think there's any. Yeah. I mean, I might have a go at that, I suppose, but. It seems daft putting that in there, so. I know you've got to like take chances and units are going to get hit, but I think we'll just move this up. Now I talked about putting it there. I think I'll just put it there so I can move 1, 2 with that. It didn't enter an intense field of fire, and it didn't move adjacent to a Japanese undisrupted, I think it is, unit. Right, that's our 3 actions used then. So we've just got, well, we've got close combat to do here, and that'll be our US action phase. Well, unless you're happy, I did say I would maybe come back and have a look. I think this is okay. At least it's command and everything. And now we know there's no point in attacking that anyway, so getting the wild card doesn't benefit us. We're going to have to move in with close combat, but we've moved that flamethrower there. Both of them can move in next turn. Hopefully do the job. And yeah, I don't. Yeah, what was I talking about possibly getting moved along here, but that takes away from that. I don't think you need to do that. Because this position's occupied anyway, Grant. Don't need to worry about reinforcing that. Right, let's get the close combat dealt with then. Right, so just as, I mean, I probably wouldn't forget, but that's where the units came from. Yeah, okay, I'll go over the other side to deal with this. And just before we go, it's in a blue position. Oh yeah, it's not. I was thinking this was the hero. It's not, but it's got the flamethrower in it. It's 2 engineer units with a flamethrower. Yeah, and we're all against 1 unit. That's fine. No, that's fine, Grant. It's fine. You can do that. I'll just take the action marker away. Okay. So yeah, and it's blue. The position is blue. I've still got that flip book open at that. So reveal Japanese unit and depth marker. Right, here we go. You kind of don't want CC on it because it's an extra card, but anyway, here we go. It's a 0. Damn. So, if we had attacked that. Why didn't I I was frightened to attack it because it was getting doubled, wasn't it? Oh no, it's not. Is it? If I attacked that? No, it's that conscript surrender thing, is it not? I don't think it would have mattered if I had attacked that. Well, I didn't have a machine gun. It would have been 4 against 0. Double 0 is 0 still, but so we would have disrupted that. However, Grant, you know what? You've done it now. Right, so we are getting 4 steps, 4 cards, and we've got an engineer with a flamethrower. So we're getting 5 cards. So surely 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's only getting 1 card, isn't he? It's not muck about. He's not got depth. He's not got 4 strength. He's not got CC. He's not a tank. He is, however, getting to fire first. That's the bad bit. So we're in blue, and he's getting to go first. So here we go. Don't want to reinforce for sure. Oops. So in blue. Alright, it does get the blue, sadly. No event though, which is probably more important. We lose a card. It was not blue. Oh! I think that would have took him out, wouldn't it? That's the one we were talking about. Let me just look at that. What does it say? If the Japanese unit is not elite, neither tank, the unit and its depth marker eliminated, removed from play. Wow, okay. No, that's... Am I not... Is it the attack thing that... I'm sure... I'm just making things up here, aren't I? Is it one of the previous games that if you attack something that's got strength 0 or something, it just gets eliminated? Or if you reveal it and it's a 0. That's what I was thinking. But no, we close combat had one of these already. If you reveal it when you're attacking it, maybe? Or am I just making up things? I'm curious now. Hang on. Yes. Page 16. So when you're resolving an attack, 8.3. Step 1. Reveal the Japanese unit. If not revealed. If the hex has an unrevealed depth marker, do not reveal it yet. If the hex does not have a depth marker and the Japanese unit strength is 0, the unit is defeated. Yeah, so we would have, if we had attacked it, we would have defeated it. How do you know? You know what I mean? Come on. How was I to know? But unfortunately, now we are going to take a step loss. I'm going to take it on this guy. We've discarded our card, which would have also gave us a conscript surrender, which would have also eliminated them. But I've got 4 cards. Sure, I've got blue within the 4 cards. Blue. Yeah, blue wasn't on my card there either. Right, so here we go. We've got 4 cards. Come on. Now, that's a miss. Alright, CC reinforced doesn't count. But again, you could see how this, in the past, when that rule was that these cancelled each other out, how brutal that was, you know. And then when the Japanese draw that reinforce, it's even worse for you. However, that's no event because we've drawn it. We've got the blue, we've got the hat. He's gone. I'll put these other 2 cards back on top because we didn't reveal them. He's gone. I want to say he's removed from the game. Ended by elimination. Eliminated non-elite, removed from play. Yeah, done that already. And these 2 guys go back. So we did take a step loss, but yeah. Okay, if you know it's there, I mean, that could have been something totally different, couldn't it? So good. And yeah, does that mean we've knocked out the artillery, that heavy artillery there? And I'm asking my camera here, because nobody can tell me, can they? Well, I suppose somebody might come and tell me. I could probably look it up. That's probably the better idea, Grant. So we're disrupted. Page 12, 6.51, knocking out Japanese artillery. When a position with artillery is not occupied by a Japanese unit, the position does not contribute to Japanese artillery fire. Right, so it's not contributing to them now because they don't occupy it. The artillery in an artillery position is permanently destroyed if occupied by a US unit or if hit by US naval fire. Oh, there's markers for this, isn't there? So, does that mean they're permanently destroyed then? Did they not just say that, Grant? Artillery in the artillery position is permanently destroyed if occupied by a US unit or if hit by US naval fire. Place an artillery destroyed marker in the position as a reminder. If an unoccupied artillery position in which artillery has not been destroyed subsequently becomes occupied by a Japanese unit position, again contributes to artillery fire. Well, we should definitely put these in then. Have I not taken one out already? I need to be careful then. So that is we've occupied that with by a US unit. It's permanently destroyed. Okay. That's a C. That one there. Because if this guy gets taken out, what it's meaning is if we could take a Japanese unit out and it could become empty like that, but we've not moved the US unit in it, and then Japanese units move back in, that means it'll then contribute to their artillery again. So we did move in there as well, because we close combated in that hex and took that one out. So yeah, I should mark these. Was there any others then? That's an I, that's a C, that's a nothing. No, nothing there. Right, hang on, we were in that position and we got wiped out. Were we ever in there? That's just an inland position, so that's a C, that's not artillery either, no. Just we were in that position as well, weren't we? I don't think we were in there, were we? So there, another reason for actually remember I was talking about moving in there, then it takes out, it would then destroy it. Because this isn't contributing, but if I put a unit in there, then that's it destroyed for the rest of the game, permanently. And it did just say a US unit, so, and we know that the HQ is a US unit. Permanently destroyed if occupied by a US unit. It says if occupied by, but then it says place an artillery destroyed marker in the position as a reminder. So my guess is if it then becomes unoccupied by a US unit, it's still destroyed, because that means permanently destroyed. We're not going to go in there and like see that they've got some artillery guns and then move away again, leaving them behind. We'd wipe them out, wouldn't we? Or use them to our benefit. Okay, so that is two positions that we've taken out then. So the good thing is that's one of the heavy positions, which I don't know how many there is. There's maybe only 2 or 3 heavy positions. I mean, that artillery we got there, well, in fact, maybe, could it be there's only 1 heavy position? Is there anywhere that tells you how many there is? I don't think there is. That's why I remember watching Kurt's play through, he marked it with a dice. I want to say there was 12. I want to say I did a D12 maybe. And yeah, you're looking for something that's, oh well, there's one here that says 2H, so there must be at least 2. However, that's one of them knocked out, so if we got that one that needed 2 heavy, then maybe that would stop it from firing. I'll need to find out. There, is that not the heavy one there? Yeah, that's a heavy one there, which I'm not showing you. In that green position, A11. So that's a heavy, and the one we've had is a heavy. Maybe there's only 2. It might be there is 3, I don't know. No, that's one of the tank ones. Right, anyway, forget about that. Right, that's the end of the US action phase, so that is the end of the turn. I'll clear things up. Yeah. Right, there we go. There's everything tidied up. I'll move phase marker back along to, well, we were hoping to be landing some stuff, but yes, well, we'll get to place them in the boxes again. We're going to shuffle the deck. See if I was to draw that event again. I'm not telling you what would be said. Yeah, right, I need to shuffle the deck up anyway. Right, okay, the deck is shuffled and we're ready for turn 6. And no extra letters coming out yet. We should have 2 letters out, which we do. Okay, right, I might get back straight away, but it'll take a lot of time copying this back across and setting it up and whatever. And anyway, I'll be back soon with the next part. Okay, cheers.